there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity out there brewing, okay? A lot of people like myself are concerned with some of the lack of size that the Indiana Fever have. And I feel there's a beautiful opportunity to add some size and shooting with a familiar face of the Indiana Fever. We got to get into it because Chloe Bibby, the long-range striker, is on the market. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. As always, let's get right into things.
The arena used to be a fortress of sellout crowds, but these days, the silence is almost deafening. Caitlin Clark recently looked up at the rafters only to see rows of empty blue seats where thousands of fans once screamed her name. This wasn't just a quiet night, it was a full-scale revolt. Fans are flatly refusing to buy tickets, and the reason is sending shockwaves through the front office. The gold rush of the Clark era has officially hit a brick wall, and nobody saw this collapse coming quite so fast. The energy has shifted from pure excitement to a sense of betrayal, and Clark is caught right in the middle of a war she didn't start.
And all of a sudden, Stephanie White just refused to play her, and then, she was out with an injury, okay? Chloe Bibby went back. I believe she went back overseas. She was absolutely dominant. And now she's back on the market, okay? Chloe Bibby has been waived by the Phoenix Mercury just after one day of being with the team, okay? This here is courtesy of Underdog WNBA, and now we go over, and here it says Chloe Bibby has been traded from the Portland Fire to the Phoenix Mercury, okay? And then Chloe Bibby has been cut by the Phoenix Mercury one day after signing with the franchise. So, pardon me.
Amidst all this chaos, a familiar face is suddenly back on the radar, and she might be the one person who could actually save the spacing on this floor. Chloe Bibby, the long-range shooter who once lit it up for the Fever, is officially back on the market. After a whirlwind trip through the expansion draft and a blink-and-you-miss-it stint with the Phoenix Mercury, she is a free agent once again. Fans are pleading for her return, but the front office seems to be looking the other way. It is the ultimate irony. The one player who actually fits Clark's style of play is available, yet the team is falling apart at the seams.
Cover off the basketball, okay? And she would have great chemistry with Caitlin Clark. I think this would be a great move if the Indiana Fever were to make it happen. Now, will they make it happen? No, because they don't do things to build the team properly around Caitlin Clark. It looks like they're busy building it around Raven Johnson and Kelsey Mitchell, okay? And that's just what it is. It just is what it is. But Chloe Bibby is back on the market, and I think the Indiana Fever should at least take a peek-see, look-see, and see what they can get done in terms of potentially bringing Chloe.
Take a look at the numbers, because they tell a story of total desperation. Tickets that used to be impossible to find are now sitting on resale sites for as low as $18. We are talking about Angel Reese prices in an arena that used to be the hottest ticket in all of professional sports. Just a year ago, you couldn't even get into the building for less than $100, and now they are practically giving them away. It is a complete nosedive in market value that has the league office sweating. When the face of the franchise can no longer sell out a home game, you know the fans are sending a message.
We have some other business to get to, as well as it appears Caitlin Clark fans are taking a stand, you guys. Caitlin Clark fans are not allowing the Indiana Fever to continue to cash in on them while not delivering the product that they are accustomed to getting, okay? We have heard Stephanie White countless times, standing 10 toes down and digging in on Caitlin Clark not being a primary ball handler and playing off ball. This whole Aaliyah Boston as a hub thing. This thing has just grown legs that it should have never grown. It's gone too far, man. Stephanie White is stubborn, would be an under.
The fans feel like they have been sold a bill of goods that simply doesn't exist anymore. Last season, the organization paraded Caitlin Clark around arena after arena while she was dealing with injuries, telling everyone she was day-to-day. People spent their hard-earned savings, booked flights, and took time off work just to see her sit on the bench and sign a few autographs. They felt hustled, used for their wallets, while the team knew she wasn't actually going to play. That resentment didn't just go away. It simmered, and now it is finally boiling over into a massive stadium-wide boycott.
This whole Aaliyah Boston as a hub thing, this thing has just grown legs that it should have never grown. It's gone too far, man. Stephanie White is stubborn, would be an understatement, as I've stated before. And she's all in on Caitlin Clark playing off ball. And the Fever fans have taken a stand, and they are not down to sit there and watch Caitlin Clark play off ball. And that's just what it is. Rose Rance from Black and White Sports 2 addressed this. Let's take a quick peek at what he had to say, because I thought he made some really, really good points, and we'll piggyback off of that.
But gosh.
But then, there is the Stephanie White factor, which is turning into a total nightmare for the Clark faithful. The coach is standing her ground on a system that seems designed to take the ball right out of Caitlin's hands. They are trying to make Aaliyah Boston the hub of the offense, forcing Clark to play off-ball like she is just another role player. Fans didn't buy season tickets to watch the greatest playmaker in history stand in the corner while someone else dribbles the air out of the ball. It is a fundamental disconnect between what the people want and what the coach is delivering for a game that's just a week away.
That's 1 week away.
Caitlin Clark's rookie year, her second year, you couldn't get a ticket to that game to save your life. It was impossible to find tickets. They damn near giving them out now. Bro, these tickets are going for $18. These are going for Angel Reese Chicago Sky prices at this point, and they're still not sold. Caitlin Clark last year, when they played the Chicago Sky in Indiana, you couldn't get no ticket the day before the game, 2 days before the game for $19. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
This is exactly why the Chloe Bibby situation is so frustrating for the Indiana faithful. Bibby is a stretch four who knows how to play alongside Clark, someone who forces the defense to pull their bigs out of the paint. She shot the lights out when she was healthy, but then she was inexplicably benched and eventually let go. Seeing her get waived by Phoenix should have been an easy win for Indiana to bring her back home. Instead, the Fever are busy building around players who don't even fit the system Clark needs to thrive. It's as if they are intentionally ignoring the most obvious solution.
Blown this whole operation to the point where, and this is what happens when the fans feel hustled, when the fans feel scammed, and they don't trust you in the product that they're supposed to be getting anymore. You guys lied to the fans all last season saying Caitlin Clark was day-to-day. All while these fans were still paying to show up to these games, all of this stuff, planning trips, all types of stuff. Y'all paraded her around arena to arena knowing she wasn't going to play just so she could sign autographs and sit on the bench. Fans felt hustled. Now she's healthy. We're all excited, ready to see her play. And
if you walk through the upper bowl of the arena right now, it looks like a ghost town. Reports are surfacing that there are thousands of unsold tickets for games that are only days away. This isn't just a few empty rows. We are talking about entire sections that used to be packed to the rafters. The math is staggering, with over 400 seats in just one small corner of the upper level sitting completely vacant. For a team that was supposed to be the commercial engine of the WNBA, this represents a catastrophic failure of both management and marketing.
Turned the fans off. The fans are not spending their hard-earned money anymore, and they don't have anyone else to blame but themselves. I just got to be honest. The Indiana Fever don't got nobody to blame but their damn selves, okay? The fans aren't willing to pay for the product that you're trying to sell anymore because there was a great product, and you guys have done everything you can to ruin it, and that was the Clark show. When it was the Clark show, tickets were selling. They were selling like hotcakes. Now you're trying to make it the Stephanie White Mitchell show, and you got thousands of tickets laying around that nobody cares to pick up off the floor. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like.
Caitlin Clark is reportedly in total shock over the sudden lack of support in the stands. She has been used to playing in front of sold-out crowds since her days at Iowa, where every single seat was a prize. To come into a professional arena and see massive gaps in the crowd is a psychological blow that no one expected. It isn't that the fans don't love her. It's that they are using the only power they have to protest how she's being used. They are holding their wallets tight until the team starts treating their superstar like the generational talent she actually is. The journey Chloe Bibby took to get back to the market is a story in itself. She was snatched up by the Portland Fire in the expansion draft, then quickly traded over to the Phoenix Mercury. Most people thought Phoenix was the perfect landing spot for her shooting ability, but they cut her loose after just 24 hours. That kind of instability is exactly what's wrong with how these talented players are being handled. Now she's sitting there, a proven shooter with chemistry with the biggest star in the league, waiting for a phone call that the Fever refused to make. The Aaliyah Boston as a hub experiment has grown legs that it should have never had. While Boston is an incredible talent, forcing the offense through the post in a league that is moving toward pace and space is baffling. It slows down the transition game where Caitlin Clark is most dangerous, turning a high-octane Ferrari into a city bus. Fans are watching this transformation in real time, and they are absolutely disgusted by it. They didn't sign up for a slow-paced, traditional half-court offense that leaves their best weapon neutralized and frustrated on the perimeter. When you look at the ticket prices for the upcoming games against the Chicago Sky, the reality hits even harder. These were the marquee matchups that everyone circled on their calendars months ago. Last year, you couldn't get a ticket 2 days before the game for any price, let alone $19. The Indiana Fever have managed to blow a golden opportunity to cement their status as the league's premier franchise. By ignoring the fans' desires and sticking to a flawed coaching philosophy, they are burning millions of dollars in potential revenue every single week. Chloe Bibby wasn't just a shooter. She was a locker room favorite who the other girls genuinely loved. Having that kind of chemistry is rare, especially when you have a high-pressure environment like the one surrounding Caitlin Clark. Bringing her back would have been a massive boost for team morale during a time when the fans are turning their backs. Instead, the front office seems more focused on building around Raven Johnson and Kelsey Mitchell. It feels like a deliberate attempt to move away from the Clark show, even though that's exactly what brought the fans in. The feeling of being scammed is a recurring theme among the season ticket holders this year. They feel like the team used Caitlin's name to drive up prices during the off-season, only to change the product once the checks cleared. You can't promise the fans a revolution and then deliver a regressive style of basketball that bores the audience. The trust has been completely shattered between the organization and the people who pay the bills. If the Fever don't realize that they are in the entertainment business, they are going to find themselves playing in an empty building very soon. While she was overseas, Chloe Bibby was absolutely dominant, proving that her shooting wasn't a fluke. She has the size and the range to be the perfect secondary option when defenses collapse on Clark. Every basketball mind knows that you need to surround a player like Caitlin with elite shooters to maximize her passing lanes. Bibby fits that mold perfectly. Yet, the Fever seem content to let her stay on the market. It's almost as if the management is afraid that bringing in a player who works well with Clark would prove the fans were right all along. Looking at the seating charts for the next homestand is a sobering experience for any WNBA fan. There are literally thousands of blue dots representing available seats in the upper bowl alone. In a league that is supposed to be on a massive upward trajectory, seeing this kind of regression in Indiana is a huge red flag. The hype train hasn't just slowed down, it's being actively derailed by coaching decisions and front office stubbornness. This isn't a problem with the league. It's a specific problem with how the Indiana Fever are managing their assets. Stephanie White's tenure is being described by some insiders as a stutter in the team's development. While she came in with high expectations, the refusal to let Caitlin Clark be the primary ball handler is a move that has baffled scouts. You don't take the best passer in a generation and tell her to wait for the ball in the corner. It stunts her growth and it kills the flow of the game. The fans are smart enough to see exactly what's happening, and they aren't willing to sit through a game where their star is being intentionally marginalized. The fact that Fever tickets are now being compared to Angel Reese and Chicago Sky prices is a massive insult to the Indiana market. No disrespect to the Sky, but the Fever were supposed to be in a different stratosphere of demand. To see the value of a Clark-led team plummet to these levels in just one season is a case study in how to ruin a brand. The Clark effect was supposed to be permanent, but the organization proved that even the biggest star can't overcome a product that people don't want to watch. The locker room dynamics are surely being affected by the empty seats and the constant noise from the fan base. Players can feel when the energy in the building is off, and right now, it's colder than ever. If the girls loved Chloe Bibby as much as reported, seeing her stay on the street while the team struggles for floor spacing must be incredibly frustrating. It creates a rift between the players on the court and the people making the decisions in the front office. When the fans and the players are on the same page, but management is on another, disaster is inevitable. There is still a window of opportunity to fix this, but it's closing fast. Chloe Bibby is sitting there ready to play and hungry to prove herself after the Phoenix debacle. Signing her wouldn't just be a basketball move. It would be a peace offering to the fans. It would show that the team is listening and that they are willing to bring in players who actually complement Caitlin Clark's unique skill set. But as of right now, the Fever seem more interested in digging their heels in than they are in winning back their audience. Some are calling the current situation pure stupidity because the solution is so obvious. You have the star, you have the fans, and you have the available talent to fix the roster. Yet, the organization continues to push a narrative that clearly isn't working on the court or at the box office. They are bleeding money and losing the trust of a generation of fans who were ready to follow this team for decades. You can't treat a loyal fan base like a piggy bank while delivering a subpar product and expect them to keep showing up. This boycott isn't just about one game or one player. It's a stand for the future of the franchise. Fans are saying they won't be complicit in the waste of Caitlin Clark's prime years. They've seen what she can do when the system is built around her, and they refuse to accept anything less. The empty seats are a silent protest that speaks louder than any social media campaign ever could until the Fever decide to actually build around their cornerstone player. The ticket prices are likely to keep sliding further into the basement. Imagine a lineup where Clark has a reliable 6-foot-plus shooter like Bibby waiting on the wing. It changes everything about how defenses have to guard the pick and roll. It opens up the lanes for Aaliyah Boston to actually work one-on-one instead of being swarmed by defenders who don't respect the outside shot. This isn't rocket science. It's basic basketball geometry. The fact that Chloe Bibby is a free agent while the Fever struggle with these exact issues is a glaring indictment of the current regime's lack of vision. Ultimately, the Indiana Fever are learning a hard lesson about the modern sports landscape in an era where fans have more access and information than ever before. You can't fake a revolution. Caitlin Clark brought the world to their doorstep, but management is the one who left the door locked. If they don't pivot soon, the empty arenas will become the new normal, and the greatest era in franchise history will be over before it even truly began. The fans have spoken with their wallets, and now it's up to the Fever to decide if they actually want to listen.